If you're thinking of relapsing, eating the junk food, staying up and playing video games, staying up and watching the corn, skipping out on the gym because you haven't gone in a week, and you make the excuse and you tell your friends, well, God man, I'm a little busy. I can't go right now. I don't have I don't have the drive, I don't have the ability, I don't have the willpower to go. I'll go next week. I'll try. Never return to the life that you outgrew. And if you did outgrow that sinister and depressing life, like I did, I lost over 85 pounds. I got out of the depths of depression and social anxiety and those thoughts of just ending it all. Climbed my way out through literally just going to the gym and working out. And that saved my life. Through all the bad habits I used to commit, through all the friendships that I never had, and through all the people that used to bully me. You never want to go back to the life that you outgrew, because you will regret it. You will deeply regret it. The life I used to have of lusting every single day because I was lonely and I didn't talk to any girls or didn't have anyone to connect with, so I connected through the videos. Or the video games. Staying up all night playing video games on my PC, Overwatch and whatever I used to play. Endless amount of hours on it, consuming dopamine and scrolling. Or buying out McDonald's almost every single day. Domino's, Sprites, the Cokes, the whole cans of Cokes that I would drink every single solitary day. You don't want to go back to that life that you outgrew. I regret it. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret skipping the gym, like I was giving the example of earlier in the video. Because when you don't go for one day, you then don't go for 2 days. And then that becomes a week. And then a week can, guess what? It can turn into a month. And then that month turns into months. And then it turns into a whole year. And that's a whole year of you not doing anything with your life. It relates to me in 2 different stories. The first story I want to talk about is actually recently. I went on a vacation to Spain and I obviously relapsed on the food. I ate a lot of food. I ate churros and Biscoff and cookies and a bunch of carbs and pastries, and oh man, did I go back. And I even drank some alcohol as well. And that caused me to gain weight. That caused me to have a more bloated look to myself, a more disgusted look of myself, on myself. And I regret it because I outgrew that previous version of myself that goes on vacation and eats all the junk food and eats whatever he wants and drinks alcohol and drinks the sodas, because I knew deep down inside that I truly did outgrow that version of myself. That version of myself that he would go in the closet at 2 a.m. and eat the Oreos and grab the Chips Ahoy and gets the Bluebell ice cream out of the freaking fridge and eat it. Oh my gosh, while he was sitting there on his desk like playing Fortnite and Overwatch and just watching corn right after to bust one out before he went to sleep. And he would wear his hoodie because, his mirror was right in front of his room and he would hate looking at his body before he went to sleep, and he would just hide himself from the world and pleasure himself in order to feel happy and content. And doing those things, like eating the pastries, taking all the bread at dinner and dipping it in olive oil without being conscious, it's like it brought me back to those memories. The memories that I outgrew, the version of myself that I outgrew. And I deeply regret going back to that version of myself because it caused the damage of me gaining weight. Like back then, I gained over 100 pounds in like 2 years. Believe it or not. Like I was always a chubby kid growing up, but when it came after the 11th grade, man, I was at 240 my heaviest because I just didn't take care of myself. Like 100 pounds in over 2-3 years, which is crazy. I mean, I don't know. You just let go of yourself after a long time. You do. And I know deep down that I outgrew that life. I outgrew the habits. Seeing myself now, yeah, I gained a lot of weight when I was over there. But I'm doing what I can in the present moment. Now in the gym, now in my routine, now in tracking my meals and eating clean veggies, clean sources of protein, drinking my protein shakes, and tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal. I know these things are going to help me to outgrow the old version of myself. Because you want to outgrow the old version of yourself. And you never want to go back to the life you used to have. And I regret it because I just gave you an example. Another example is I took a whole year hiatus from working out when I was in college. I remember I lost most of the weight when I was in 12th grade. And I went to the gym and was in wrestling. And after senior year ended, I just stopped. Like, literally, I remember for a whole year, I just stopped going. I just quit. And then I got skinny fat. Now you may ask, Ahmed, why did you just stop? It was because, well, I was burnt out. Second of all, I just made the excuses that I didn't want to push myself. I didn't have any goals or a purpose to go after because after high school, I was still like purposeless. Like that 17, 18-year-old version of me was just purposeless. And that skinny fat kid, he didn't know what he wanted to do in his life until the year after he got into the gym. He got back into the gym. He would go to the gym like once every 2 to 3 months and hit a random workout and be scared because of his social anxiety and people would be judging him or someone would be looking at me, and then that would cause me to stay away from that because I was uncomfortable with it. I was uncomfortable with living that lifestyle. And so I ran away from it. I ran away from the gym. But I knew deep down that I lost the weight. And I wanted to build a version of myself. One that I can outgrow and push and be disciplined almost every single day. And so that's why I started going back to the gym again after I was skinny fat, because I wanted to build a physique, to get abs, to build a version of myself that I can actually be proud of, that I can actually smile when I press record on that mirror or look at myself in the mirror with my phone and do this and be happy with what he has created, the version of himself that he has created in the present moment. It's a good thing that I had that regret inside of me. The regret that, oh man, I didn't work out for almost a whole year and I got skinny fat and I went back to drinking Sprites and the Cokes, and I went back to kind of my old lifestyle of watching corn every day, and it was kind of bad after high school. I'm not gonna lie, my first year of college was like bad. Because with all the dopaminergic activities, it kind of just piled on. With me not knowing what career I wanted to get into, or me not having a purpose, even though I lost over 85 pounds, you got skinny fat. Because you chose the wrong habits. You chose to go back to the life that you single-handedly outgrew. That's a big regret that I had. But that regret turns into a life lesson. It turns into lessons. It turns into teaching moments, and moments that make us realize that, yeah, this event single-handedly has created a version of me today that can look back and be proud of this. That can look back and realize, you know what? I did mess up a lot. I did F up a lot in the past. But as long as I don't go back to the life that I outgrew, and I keep developing myself, I keep pushing myself in the gym to get veins and to grow more muscle, I know that I can be a better version of myself moving on forward. Those were kind of the two stories that I really wanted to kind of dive deep into a little bit and, talk about why we should never go back to the life we outgrew, and why we live our lives with regret when we fall back into those old habits we used to do. It even comes down to eating out with friends or staying up all night for unnecessary reasons. Because then they have cons to them. They have effects. You mess up your sleep schedule. You relapse on the corn and you feel like complete shit, like crap. You feel like crap. Like you have no energy, you have no drive to do things, you have no cognitive function. Like you can't even focus for like 30 seconds without like your mind like literally going blank, or like you staring off into space, or like your brain just like fogging up your whole point of view. Like literally when you relapse on corn, it feels so horrible. And you know deep down that, okay, what I'm doing is bad. Eating the junk food is bad. Skipping out on the gym is bad. Watching the corn is bad. Staying up all night is bad for my health. But I still do it anyways because there's that dopamine, that instant gratification, that instant pleasure from that activity. But then those activities, man, they have so many cons to them. I mean, that's the way it is, man. You just gotta build your way up and stop doing those habits. Because you know deep down it's damaging you more than you think. The amount of muscle you could have grown from this time frame to this time frame, it didn't happen because you chose to go back to the life that you outgrew. I chose back to go to the life I outgrew recently, like in Spain, and even with working too. Like sometimes I don't go to the gym as much. Sometimes I went from going from the gym 5 times a week to 3 times a week. Now, am I saying that's a bad thing? No. You can make progress with a 3-day split, a full body or a push-pull legs. Absolutely, if you do the right things, the recovery, the sleep, the hygiene, the foods, the cardio, you can do it right. But with me, I was taking advantage of that. I was taking advantage of those breaks. I was taking advantage of the burnout I would feel after work or after the gym and just lay at home and do nothing with my life. You can't let that laziness and that burnout like grab onto you and hold onto you and like push you back steps upon steps. Because that's what happened with the skinny fat version of me. Like I was talking about earlier in the video. He was burnt out. He felt like he didn't have to do anything anymore. He didn't have to continue to lose weight anymore because he was already skinny and where he wanted to be, and he was comfortable where he was at. But he never had the idea of building the muscle. He never had the idea of talking to more girls or going out there and making new friends in college or leveling up his social skills or leveling up his career skills or his skills in general, in any sort of skills, finance, etc. But choosing to stay at home and do the same things you used to do in high school, that's not going to solve any problems in your life. And becoming an adult and becoming a man and becoming older, you do have to outgrow that life your younger version used to live. And that's part of you taking responsibility and accountability for yourself single-handedly as a adult male, or if you're an adult female as well, for the 1% female viewers. I didn't need to say that. But, like I'm saying, please outgrow the life. Or please don't live the life that you outgrew. Because you will deeply regret it and just mess yourself up really even more. There's no point in going back to the version of you that wouldn't even go to the gym, wouldn't even step into the gym, wouldn't even go on the treadmill for more than 5 minutes. There's no point in you going back to that version. Because you've already created a version of you that is capable of doing more. So then at the end of the day, you really are just capable of doing more. And that's your job, your duty, is to just do more than what you can.